Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaReal. We are here with some NBA 2K Mobile, and we're back with another episode where we're breaking down how to build the players for the new theme. We are focusing on the new Journeymen. If you're following along with the video or the podcast, we're going to jump right into the brand new theme, which is being kicked off with a new Galaxy Opal Tyson Chandler. Now, as far as Tyson Chandler, he does have the Gear Master ability. The Gear Master ability is really good, especially if you want to grind gear. You get 20% extra gear points, which are earned when this card has gear attached. Now, as far as his stats, he has a 5 in rebounding and a 5 in defending, which is good for a center, right? You want your centers to have those stats at a minimum. I would try to bring up his layups, his dunks, since he's at a 4. You could bring it up higher. That's really the way you want to use Tyson Chandler, as somebody who can grab offensive rebounds and get a putback. He's not known to be a shooter, so you don't have to bring up his shooting stats. You could bring up his post scoring a bit if you want. You can try bringing up his agility and his playmaking as well. Next, we got Larry Nance Jr. He has a 5 in layups and dunks. He only has a 5 in layups and dunks. He does have a lot of 4s. You could bring up his playmaking, his defending, his mid-range shooting, and his rebounding. Next, we got Nate Robinson. This time around with the Golden State Warriors. He's got decent stats, right? He's got a 5 in agility, mid-range shooting, 3-point shot. I would bring up his defending, his layups and dunks, his shoot-off dribble, and his playmaking. Dark Matter George Hill, 5 in agility, 5 in playmaking, 5 in 3-point shot. You could bring up his layups and dunks, which is right now at a 3, his defending, which is at a 4, and his mid-range shooting, which is at a 4. Now we got Jay Crowder. He's got a 5 in strength, and he's got a lot of 4s across the board. You could bring up his mid-range shooting, which is at a 3, 3-point shot, which is at a 4, playmaking, which is at a 4, and defending, which is at a 4. We got Brent Barry. He has a 5 in mid-range and a 5 in 3-point shot. You could bring up his layups and dunks, which is at a 4, his defending, which is at his 4, and his playmaking, which is at a 4. We got Marcus Morris Sr., Topaz. You could bring up his layups and dunks, which is at a 4, mid-range shooting, 3-point shot, which is at a 4 as well. He actually does have a 5. It's full post scoring. That's pretty good. You can also bring up his playmaking, which is at a 3, and his defending, which is at a 3. And we got Victor Oladipo, really solid gem, 5 in layups and dunks, mid-range shooting, 3-point shot, agility, and defending, which is pretty good. You could bring up playmaking, which is at a 3, shoot off dribble, which is at a 4, and it boosts up his strengths. Here we have Doug Christie, who is also craftable. It is nice to see Doug Christie in the game though. He has a 5 in mid-range shooting, but that's it, right? He does have a lot of 4s across the board, so you could bring up his layups and dunks, his 3-point shot, his playmaking, and his defending, and maybe even the agility if you could. Here we have Seth Curry. He's got a 5 in shoot off dribble, a 5 in 3-point shot, and that's about it. But he does have a 4 in playmaking you can bring up. You can bring up his layups and dunks, which is sitting at a 2, and you can bring up his mid-range, which is sitting at a 4, and his defending, which is sitting at a 2. Now you'll start noticing that some of the players do have clutch time. So power is increased by 15% for one day, which is on Friday, which is cool because that's during the events. DeAndre Jordan, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in strength, 5 in rebounding. You could bring up his defending, which is at a 4, and you could bring up his playmaker, which is at a 2. His shooting stats are at a 1. His post scoring is at a 2, so there's not a lot you can do with DeAndre Jordan. You can build him out to be a really strong rebounder and defender. Next, we got Caron Butler. Now, this is a nice card. He is actually a really good small forward in this game. He's got a 5 in mid-range shooting, 3-point shot. So shooting stats are really good. You could bring up his defending, which is at a 4, playmaking, which is at a 4, layups and dunks, which is at a 4. Now, for a small forward, he already has 4 in post scoring, which is really good. And we got Kelly Oubre Jr. He's pretty decent as well. 5 in agility, 5 in 3-point shot. You can bring up his playmaking, his defending, which is at a 4, his mid-range shot, which is at a 4, and his layups and dunks, which is at a 4. Del Curry, 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range shooting, 5 in 3-point shot. You can bring up his playmaking, which is at a 4, his defending, which is at a 3, and his layups and dunks, which is at a 3. Now we got Sean Marion. Sean Marion's a very good small forward in his game, but his jump shot takes a lot of adjusting to, because it's a slow windup, but it's also a set shot. It takes a bit of adjustment, especially with the timing, but he's really good overall, right? He's got a 5 in defending, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in agility, and 5 in rebounding, which is incredible for a small forward. You could bring up his mid-range shooting, which is at a 4, 3-point shot, which is at a 4, and his playmaking, which is at a 4. Tony Kukoc, which is a nice surprise, I gotta admit. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range, 5 in 3-point shot. Tony Kukoc can get buckets. He's a good player, and he has a smooth release as well. You could bring up his playmaking, which is at a 4, his defending, which is at a 4, and his layups and dunks, which is at a 3. Next, we got Serge Ibaka. who's pretty decent as well. Really good shot blocker. 5 in mid-range shooting, 5 in rebounding, 5 in defending. He does have a 4 and 3-point shot for a center, which is really good. So you could bring up his playmaking, which is at a 2, his layups and dunks, which is at a 4. And if you got some extra stats, you can focus on bringing up his 3-point shot even more, because he is going to be out there. He is a perimeter big. So if you can get him to hit those shots, that'll be great for your team. And we got Tim Hardaway. I actually forgot he played for the Denver Nuggets, so this was pretty cool. Definitely a nice surprise. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range, 5 in 3-point shot, 5 in playmaking, and a 5 in agility. So he's really good. You could bring up his layups and dunks, which is at a 3, and his defending, which is at a 4, and then just boost up his strengths. You got Tobias Harris kicking off the Ambers. He's got a 5 in mid-range shooting, 3-point shot. Now, since he is a power forward, I really recommend you focus on bringing up his rebounding, which is at a 3, his defending, which is at a 3, and bring up his playmaking, which is also at a 3, and his layups and dunks, which is at a 4. And we got Jalen Rose. Now, this is a cool card. I'm excited to see Jalen Rose in the game. I remember him having an Emerald card before. I think it was like the most improved theme, but this is pretty cool. He's got a 5 in playmaking, a 5 in shoot-off dribble, a 5 in mid-range shooting, a 5 in 3-point shot, and a 5 in agility. So he's got really good stats. You could bring up his layups and dunk, which is at a 4, and his defending, which is at his 4, and then boost up his strengths. And we got Bernard King, definitely a really good small forward as well. And seeing him on the Washington Bullets, that's pretty cool. I would have loved if he was on the Knicks, but I can't be greedy, right? I got Jamal Crawford in this team already, so it is what it is. But Bernard King has a 5 in agility, layups and dunks, mid-range shooting, and post scoring, which is really good for a small forward. Could bring up playmaking, which is a 4, defending, which is a 4, 3-point shot, which is at a 3. If you could get that up to a 5, that would be crazy, because he could get buckets, and giving him a 3-point shot would be crazy. So now, as far as Jamal Crawford, he's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range shooting, a 5 in 3-point shot, and a 5 in playmaking. He's really good. I'm hype about him because he does have some weaknesses, but you can boost those up easily with Gears and Mentor, right? You can bring up his layups and dunks, which is a 3, bring up defending, which is a 3, but aside from that, pretty solid, right? You can also try to bring up agility, which is at a 4, but he's already got the 5 in the most important stats for a shooting guard, so he's going to get buckets for sure. We got a new Derrick Rose, but they did sneak peek that card, right? Along with Jamal Crawford, but this is still pretty awesome. So the Derrick Rose has 5 in agility, 5 in layups and dunks, shoot-off dribble, mid-range shooting, and playmaking. This card is going to be incredible. You can bring up defending, which is at a 4, and you can bring up 3-point shot, which is at a 4. And then just boost up Derrick Rose's strengths. It's going to be a great card. Last but not least, now this is awesome. We got a new Shaq, and this time around, it's on a team that we haven't really seen. The Phoenix Suns, Shaquille O'Neal. Definitely a journeyman team for him. You know Shaq is already one of the most dominant players inside his game, top tier center. He's got a 5 in defending, 5 in post scoring, 5 in layups and dunks, strength, and rebounded. What a card, right? Definitely a dominant center. Not a shooter, so you can ignore those stats, right? They're both a 1. What you could do is bring up his playmaking, which is at a 3, and then focus on bringing up his layups and dunks, his blocking, his rebounding, and his post scoring, and Shaq will be such a beast down low. That's how you build out all the journeyman players. So let's go over the set reward and the upcoming events and rewards as well. So the set reward is Derrick Rose. In order to get the Derrick Rose, you got to craft Brent Barry, Doug Christie, Seth Curry, Obsidian Tim Hardaway, and the Amber Bernard King. Now, as far as the upcoming events and the official announcement, right, it says Journeyman features a Derrick Rose event card. So if you can't complete the set for Derrick Rose, you can grind the event and get him with the jersey in which he dropped his career high of 50, which was with the Timberwolves, right? Such a great game. So the first event is going to be King of the Court. Derrick Rose will be the final reward. Amber Tobias Harris and Obsidian Tony Kukoc. That's going to be a good card to get. Don't sleep on that Tony Kukoc. I'll definitely be excited to feature these players on Worth the Hype. The next event is going to be Domination. Jamal Crawford will be the final reward. You will also have a chance to get Jalen Rose and Serge Ibaka. That is the Journeyman event. I do appreciate everyone who's been checking out this video or listening to it on the podcast. I appreciate the support. I will catch everybody on the next one. Peace out.